One of the things we like to celebrate on a day of celebration is people doing the right thing. Now, unfortunately, not everybody likes to celebrate that, as you're gonna see in this clip.
So we do a lot of stories about police officers looking out for one another, even when there's a clear instance of excessive force. But in this video that we did back in 2011, we actually found an example of a police officer who arrested another police officer for speeding. And things kind of went crazy from there. Take a look. Back in 2011, a Florida Highway Patrol trooper by the name of Donna Jane Watts stopped a speeding driver who was going 120 miles per hour. Well, she was really surprised to find that that person in the vehicle was someone by the name of Fausto Lopez. Fausto Lopez is actually a police officer with the Miami Police Department. So she arrested him, and the video footage was awesome. Take a look.
Put your hands out that window right now!
Gun drawn and commands firing.
Put your hands out the window!
An FHP trooper pulls over a Miami police officer.
Oh yeah, I'm serious!
Frisks him, cuffs him, and carts him to her cruiser.
Turn around, right now, so I'm done, turn around!
And during all of this, the Miami officer sounds just as shocked as she is mad.
Oh my God, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this at all.
It began unbelievably just minutes before, with his police cruiser seen here passing by the trooper like she's standing still.
It is a Miami police.
She chases him, lights flashing, engines screaming. As she describes him weaving in and out of lanes, speeding up and slowing down at speeds topping 120 miles an hour, until both finally come to a tense stop 4 minutes 57 seconds later.
Put your hands out the window!
I would not mess with her. Okay.
She's not playing, man.
Yeah, not so Fausto. By the way, not a bad looking guy. Anyway.
Okay, so look, at first she doesn't know if it's a cop or not. She doesn't know who's in the car.
No
Maybe they
idea.
stole the cop car, right?
Right. So she pulls him over. She takes his badge. Not takes his badge. That leads to him losing his job, right? Mm-hmm. So as you guys know, usually cops look out for one another. But in this case, that did not happen. It made national headlines. He lost his job, and other members of law enforcement there were really upset about it. So the harassment begins, and people start harassing the Florida trooper. Random telephone calls on her cell phone. Some were threats and some were prank calls, including orders for pizza. Unfamiliar vehicles and police cars sat idling in her cul-de-sac. She was afraid to open her mailbox. A number of certain things were happening to her, so she was really worried about it. And then she realized, hey, you know what? I get the sense that cops are checking in on my driver's license information. You know, they can pull up that information because they're cops.
That's why they know where she lives. Now, look, a lot of times people feel that way, and you're like, you're paranoid, right?
Yeah.
Now, people aren't going to check in on you, and then, mysterious cars in my cul-de-sac. In this case, not so much.
Yeah, so she decided to take a look, and she realized that in a 3-month period, 88 law enforcement officers from 25 different agencies accessed her driver's license information more than 200 times.
Turns out she was totally right. She was right to be paranoid. It seems like half the cops in South Florida were checking out where she lives, and obviously some of them were totally harassing her.
Now, in 1994, there was a law passed, a federal law passed. It's known as the Federal Driver Privacy Protection Act, and it prevents cops or anyone looking up your private information when there's absolutely no need to do so. And in this case, there was no need to do so other than to try to harass her, right? If you are caught breaking this law, you can be fined $2,500. Now, she is suing using that law as a reason to sue, and if she wins, she can receive up to $500,000.
Totally agree with her. Okay, now there's people now, of course, there's lawyers defending the other side, saying the government, and saying, hey, wait a minute, this is like, if you look up somebody's driver's license for profit, it said, no, but it doesn't say that in the law. It doesn't say only for profit. Like, for example, if you look up their driver's license to harass them at their house, yeah, that's exactly what the law should cover. So she deserves the $500,000. Look, if you had 88 cops looking to harass you and threaten you, don't you think that would be a good reason to sue the government, even if you're a cop? Hell yeah.
Yeah. Now, the Department of Justice has actually chimed in on this, and they said, no. That defense is ridiculous. This law would protect her, so she is going to go ahead and file suit, and I'm glad that she's doing it. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that they use those resources just to go after and harass her. And by the way, no one should be driving 120 miles per hour on the highway. That's so unbelievably unsafe. And I love that she actually did her job. She didn't look out for him because he's a cop, and she did what she needed to do. And by the way, he was saying that he was speeding because he was running late for his off-duty job.
That's
right?
the world's worst excuse.
I wonder what that cop would say if there were just a regular person going 120 miles per hour and use that as an excuse. Would that be acceptable?
You know, look, I love her because A, she's courageous, and B, she doesn't listen to this bullshit rule that the cops are allowed to break every law there is. You're not allowed to break it. She actually busts them on it. It's great. And by the way, so what's happened to her? She's been reassigned to road patrol in Broward County instead of Dade County. She's been relocated and is no longer driving a cruiser. So she still works for the highway patrol, and they say she's fine overall. But they did take that job that she was obviously doing well away from her.
Yeah.
And so does she deserve the money for all the harassment? Absolutely. So you go get him. Now, I know the rest of the cops are Fausto and furious over this. But they're wrong, and she's right.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.